So this video is going to be about proper flushing a Sea-Doo, in particular the GTX RXT, the Wake Pro, the Fish Pro, but this pretty much applies to any of the Sea-Doos with the closed loop cooling. I've watched several of the videos of people doing it, and they are by the book doing it wrong, and in my opinion doing some of the other things wrong. Now this isn't necessarily going to apply to you people that ride in fresh water. I ride in salt water only, so flushing it is crucial. And if you ride in salt water and you're just flushing with water, which is by the book, but in my opinion is not the best way to do it. I really recommend you get Salt Away, or there's other products out there that do the same thing, but this literally breaks down the salt and washes it away. So and you put it in a little mixer. You have to buy that separate, but this is obviously reusable, and you can use Salt Away or rinse with this little attachment. Now, like I said, there's other products that will do the same thing, or at least I guess they do. I haven't had experience with it, so I can't speak as to them working, but basically what I'm saying is if you ride in salt water and you're not using some sort of salt removal, you're really doing yourself, well, you're doing your ski not a lot of, well, it's good just to flush it, but you could do it better. Chances are your ski, your intercooler, if you have a supercharger, is going to last longer, your exhaust is going to last longer, and all that. So with that said, also, and I'll show you later, I don't even wash my ski necessarily. When I use Salt Away, just spray it on, rinse it off, and literally it's clean. There's no need to hand wash it and all that. All the salt's gone, and it's good to go. So the protectant that I use for corrosion, this can's a little messed up, but this is fluid film. It's been around for years. It's proven itself. It's lanolin based. It's non-toxic, non-hazardous. And it protects all your metal. You can spray the engine down, your pump, and all that stuff. It does a fantastic job. And the old WD-40 I use on just a couple of different things on the ratchet straps that are built into my trailer. All right, with that said, I'm going to give you a couple of things that the book says that I know a lot of the other people have not apparently read. The first one that you can find here in the book is never flush a hot engine. Now, for some of you that might not be a problem. For me, it kind of is because, well, it's not necessarily a problem, it just takes time. I live about 4 minutes from the boat ramp, so if I drive straight home after bringing a ski in, my engine is hot. So, and I kind of understand why they say this. If you think about it, the ride plate is where all your cooling for your engine happens, and that's in the water, so it dissipates a lot of heat in the water. Well, when you're running it in air, it's not dissipating nearly as much heat, so you could overheat your engine. All right, just basically. Chances are you're not going to, which brings me to the second thing. I've seen other people say, yeah, run it for 3 or 4 minutes. Well, according to the book, never run it for more than 2 minutes. And they recommend only running it 90 seconds at idle speed. So 2 or 3 minutes, no, or 3 to 4. I've even heard people say up to 5. Now that you have the carbon seal and everything that has to be, in fact, there's a warning on that. Never run an engine more than 2 minutes. Driveline seal has no cooling when watercraft is out of the water. All right, so A, never flush a hot engine. B, don't run it for more than 2 minutes. All right. So, C, which is, those are facts. My opinion is if you're running in salt water, you need to use something to break down the salt. All right, so let's go out here and I'll show you how I flush it and rinse the outside. All right, so here we are. Got the Salt Away container hooked up. Got my hose connected in. You can get one of those quick connects. I wouldn't buy the Sea-Doo one. I would go to Home Depot or Lowe's, get one of the plastic ones, use that. But if you do not leave the connector in the ski. Apparently water needs to come out of there, so they recommend you do not leave it in. Alright, so we're all hooked up. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and fire it up. And I will turn this, let me get it here where I can see it. I don't know if this will show up, but it's off right now. And then you have salt away and rinse. So you start off with the salt away, and it's going to kind of foam up, and then once that's done, you switch to rinse. So let me start the ski first, and then we'll take this out. So you can see it's kind of soapy looking. That's the salt away. Alright, it looks like it's gone completely through, so I'm going to switch it to rinse. Sorry, doing this one-handed. So now I've switched it over to just water. And we'll let that run through again, under 90 seconds. In fact, there's a warning right here. Don't run it over 90 seconds. Alright, it's gone clear up top here. It's about gone clear in the bottom. You don't have to get all the salt away out. Let me turn the water off. Rev it a couple times. And kill it. Okay. So now I've removed all the salt from the exhaust system and the intercooler. Show you one more thing real quick, especially when I'm getting ready to wash the whole ski down with the salt away. One thing is you got your backup gate down, so to get that out of the way, come up here and grab the reverse handle. Oh, this is going to be interesting to do. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but it says IVR override, press OK. So on the right grip, you press OK. Alright, now you hit the VTS up, down. You can hold it if you want, and you can even see it on your display, it going up. So once it goes all the way to the top, you can let off. Come back here, and there you go. Now you can access the pump, really spray that down. And I also put a little protectant on it, lubricant protectant, before I put it away. So let me take you up front here. Now I'm hoping you can see that is nothing but salt on here, and I'm going to switch over and put a sprayer on the hose and spray this all down with salt away. It works a lot better if you're not in direct sunlight, but anyway, I'm going to wash it down with salt away, rinse it, and then I'm not even going to dry it. I'm just going to let it air dry. I'll probably get some spots, but you'll see when it's done, it'll look like I actually washed it, and I'm not going to use anything to wash it. Just spray it with salt away. That's it. Okay, I'm not going to film all of this, but I'll just start off filming it. So I'm doing it one-handed by myself, so it's going to be hard for me to do. But anyway, I got the little salt away mixer here going, so I'm just want to spray down the whole ski. You can see it just looking like it's soaping up, but it's just breaking down the salt, and it just washes away. And I get everything, the top, the bottom, get it in the pump, get the trailer, the wheels, everything that got in salt water, I spray it down. So let me finish doing this and then rinse. Alright, I've completely finished rinsing it. I've sprayed everything down with salt away and then rinsed it with just regular water. And to make things easier, I put the trailer up on a 5-gallon bucket to help me get the water out of the footwells, geez. And because they're kind of hard to get everything out. But you do this and you can use the hose, use the pressure of the hose to pretty much get all the water out. Now, I did not use a rag, I didn't use anything, I haven't dried it. And I'm hoping it shows up. There is absolutely no salt on it at all, anywhere. That stuff is awesome. Now, if you don't want water spots, you can use a towel or a chamois or something to wipe it down, and it'll look like pretty much like new. but there's not a bit of salt on the outside of it. That salt away is just amazing. So uh, there's a couple other things I want to be doing. And before I go any further, I want to mention one thing. I showed you how to take the reverse gate and put it in the up to position. Before you take the ski out next time, you probably want to start it on the trailer for just a second to get that gate to drop back down. If you get in the water and you're expecting it to be in neutral like it's supposed to be, it will not be. It will be in forward, and it'll give you an IBR error. It'll take off forward at the dock, and then the gate will drop and it'll go into neutral finally. But you might have already done some damage to something by then, so just something to keep in mind. All right, let me get this down off the 5-gallon bucket, and I'm going to spray the pump down it. All right, so now I use my fluid film, and again, this is lanolin based, environmentally friendly, all that, and been used for years. And I pretty much spray every joint, every piece of metal, everything back here that I can inside the pump. The IBR, the little hinges here on the gate, everything up in here. And what it does is it actually just spreads and forms a coat over it, and just to protect it from rust. Now this might not apply to you, but I've got some little built-in ratchets here, and I like to hit them with a little WD-40 on both sides. Now, here's where I'm going to vary from the book, and this goes from book to my opinion, and that is, again, I ride in salt water all the time. Yeah, but they tell you to rinse down the engine compartment. I am not putting any water in my hole if there doesn't need to be water in my hole. So I check every time. I make sure not a drop of salt water's gotten in here. Tilt it back, take the plugs out, nothing. Now if I get in something rough or have something break, and if I get any salt water in here at all, I'm flushing the entire engine compartment with salt away, heavy salt away, and then rinsing it and opening the deck up and everything and letting it all dry. And then again, I would spray everything down with fluid film, all the metal components, not necessarily electrical, but you can kind of see it shining here on my engine. It just again gives you that protective barrier. Now you may choose to rinse your hole out every time. I think that's a waste of water and just water intrusion in someplace it doesn't need to be. There's nothing to wash out. So that's pretty much most of it's by the book. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people do a lot of different things on their flushes, and I just don't agree with some of the information that was given, especially going by the book. And I think that's about it. And I hope this helps you and keeps your ski running for years.